All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo'S Wrestling Room. Monday, September 9th, 2024. I already forgot what day it was. But I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by Tony Gonzo'S, Marcus Fine, and Warren Misery, like always. And then also tonight, Austin is joining us. And then here in a few minutes, we'll have another special guest for a new segment that we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to debut a new segment called Rapid Fire, and it's going to our debut guest is going to be Damien Deville, and we're going to be asking him questions for 15 minutes. He's going to be laying out the questions and getting answers from them. So we'll be doing that. So let's get started with our indie report with Marcus Fine.
All right. Well, I didn't go anywhere this week. Kelly's been down and back, so we didn't go anywhere. But I do. Here's our beginning. I want to send out prayers to Roger Moore. What they thought had a heart attack ended up just being a major lung infection. He's on double antibiotics, and he did get to come home yesterday. So just keep your prayers going up for Roger as he's in the healing process, and thank God it wasn't a heart attack, because they were talking bypass or catheter or whatever, something, heart surgery, and that didn't happen. So, all right, well, shit. I talked to our good buddy Reggie Edwards just a little while ago, and he's pissed off because of Friday night. So to get these,
you mean your good buddy Reggie Edwards?
They my good buddy, but he gave them to me thinking I must have been like some girl in 10th grade shorthand class. I'm trying to write them down as fast as I could. So you'll have to take these as best I could get them. So my secretary was out today. So you know shorthand, don't you? That's what I thought. All right, so here we go. We'll try to get through these. Friday Night at the Dead. Cecil Cerveza defeated Pogo. Then Reggie had his celebration for Phoenix's territorial championship party or whatever, and I guess Jackson Morgan came out, demanded a match with Phoenix. Reggie said, okay, at the end of the month, they're going to do a 3 Stages of Hell. Jackson versus Malenko for 3 Stages of Hell, which, no, that's not going to even make sense for what he told me later. Well, I knew that Reggie was ate up. But anyhow, and, well, you'll see why I say that here in a minute. But then Jackson wanted something else, so he made the main event Jackson versus Malenko for the Outlaw title. I think that's what he said. Then Phoenix defeated Juan Sanchez. Brody Botkins defeated Hidari. He thinks Zach Nova defeated Jordan James, but he's not sure about that.
He thinks? Wait a minute. Isn't Reggie like the commissioner or GM or something?
Well, wait till you get to the end. If you haven't seen the video, there's a reason he's acting like this.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say, if he's a commissioner or GM, how the hell does he think that somebody want to match?
I know. It tells you those guys do that.
Math is a powerful drug.
The match between Timmy Jackson and Waterboy ended in a nothing because the James Power gang came out and did a beatdown.
We think.
And then James got in there, got the run in his mouth about something, as he always does. And JKO came out. So then it was Kenneth James versus JKO until the James Power Gang beatdown. And then Austin James came out and ran everybody off except Skull Crusher, and he injured Skull Crusher's shoulder to get a match with a James Powers Gang member this Friday, I guess. I think that's what he said. Like I said, I don't know. Anyway, Logan Myers and Elijah Arrows defeated Mike Noble and David Light. Main event was Jackson versus Maliko. Didn't even get started before Phoenix interrupted with the bell ringing. Brought the ring bell out. I'm trying to read this. Maliko slapped Reggie. Jackson choked out Reggie. And Brody came out to face Jackson. If you can understand that. But then he said later, now this is an exclusive. End of the month. And that's why I kind of questioned this 3 stages of hell. Because he said Brody Balkins is going to take on Maliko for the Outlaw title at Scorched Earth. So take those how you want to. You got him from that damn Reggie, so I don't know.
Reggie.
It's Reggie. That's how we put it's Reggie.
Yep, good.
Okay, Sunday. We wasn't able to make it to this show either, but NGW Monticello National Guard Armory Sunday. Jackson Morgan defeated Adam Rain. Now, more like beat the shit out of Adam Rain, but anyhow. Chris Gordon beat Rory Shield. Nick Moss pinned Jeremy Halley with the help of Cecil Cerveza. And then it was Rory Shield, Jeremy Halley, and the 80s guy, Lawrence Bonpafo. They defeated Nick Moss, Chris Gordon, and Cecil Cerveza. Main event, Hoosier State champion Ace Anderson retained his belt against Jordan James. And that's courtesy of Larry Poffo, who knew his results, but Reggie didn't know his. So maybe we need to get Poffo to show Reggie how to remember what you booked. So,
Oh, shit.
Maybe.
now let's see. We got Jake Elliott, Justin Danger, and Hobo Jones. What's up, guys?
What up, fellas, and Kelly?
I'm not
And
seeing
Kelly.
that.
Hi.
You
Justin.
guys.
Oh, see, now Daniel, Hobo Jones must have seen it too, because he put Banana Peel for the win against Rain. So he must have seen the
You need to check that out, Chris. It is pretty
great. I said it.
No.
late.
I haven't watched it yet, but I saw Marcus send it to me.
Oh, you only need 3 seconds. You'll know what we're talking about.
Okay, guys.
It made Tyson O'Neill a genius compared to what happened there.
Yeah. When you went underneath the ring. Yep. Okay, let's get started with our first of all our wrestling report with Monday Night Raw. Had you guys do a little bit of homework, see if you guys checked out the live attack on Rhea Ripley's knee. I thought it was pretty well done. Do you guys think that was planned? I mean, or do you think that was an accident that her leg got caught? I think it was planned. I don't know how you plan it and it works out like that, but I thought it was a pretty good segment, and I thought it led into the next segment with into the match later on with the Terror Twins and Uso against Judgment Day. So what do you guys think of the segment with Liv attacking Rhea Ripley's knee?
I definitely thought it was planned, because when she went over there toward Dom, if you watch, when she stepped through the rope, she stepped over the middle rope and then back to the other side of the bottom rope. So she had her leg hooked in place for it to get hooked. But I thought they made it look real good. I thought it looked real good the way when she fell and it hooked. I thought it looked real good, but
Yeah,
I do
hanging
think
over.
it was planned. But no, I thought it was a good segment.
Warren, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, is definitely they did make it look as realistic as they could, and that was pretty sweet. And it fed through the entire night. It did great, and yeah, I think that's right now it is one of the hotter things they got going on with this, which it's winning me over slowly. I wasn't a big fan to begin with, but it's working. Glenn, I was never worried. I was never worried.
They're talking shit.
Because now everyone's watching this, not getting ready for Monday Night Football, because I'm back on G.W.R. We got Austin to help boost it even more. So I know watching that old man Rogers versus Mr. Last guy drafted Purdy in the Monday Night Football. They're all watching this.
Marcus, what do you think of that segment?
First of all, Jonathan Holiday, I'll send you that link after we're done. There is a video out where Dom actually had to put his foot out to keep Rhea from cracking her head on the floor. Have you seen that?
No.
So it is a setup, but there is a video where he kind of put his foot over so her head would smack the top of his leg instead of crashing down into that mat. So, yeah, I think it was planned, but she's so tall.
Yeah.
She kind of hung a little further down than I think they were expecting. But I love it.
Even planned, I think that's awful. I think that's dangerous because you seem like you could tear up a knee pretty easily.
Well, look what it did to
doing that
Tanner during that Rumble that day.
Yeah, Tanner weighs about 75 pounds.
But he's all need from the
all need. That's all he's got is a knee. He don't have nothing else but a knee. That's what everything was, and he's still tore up his knee.
Oh shit.
Austin, did you see that segment?
I didn't watch Raw, but I did see that. I seen clips of it, and yeah, I mean, I think it was. I agree. I think it was planned. I mean, I don't know if it was supposed to be a callback, but it was pretty similar to Priest getting caught up with when he was facing Seth. So maybe there was kind of a callback to that in a way. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
What do you guys think of the Terror Twins and Jey Uso getting the revenge on the Judgment Day?
You could just ask. Mike back home.
Ask Dom.
You could just ask Dom if it was set up or not. I mean, we have Dom right here on the show with us.
A Dom lookalike, Austin.
I got to get a haircut, man.
I wasn't going to bring that up because I've been calling Austin Dom for about a week. I wasn't going to bring that up, and here you are.
Austin, I think you look good.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you.
Look good. You're like our son. You're all clean shaven. You look like you're 12. I'm not trying to be mean. You need that to make you look older. Our son, if he shaves, he looks like he's 12, but he's 30 years old. But
why do you think I don't shave?
He's kind of.
I just figured you were lazy, but I.
Austin's looking like he could maybe be Hobo Jones' tag team partner.
Ooh, Hobo Jones is in here.
Yeah, he could be a tag team partner.
If I shaved and also was clean shaved, we look just alike.
Yep, that's true.
What are we talking about? I know we weren't talking about Austin's grooming.
No, he was talking about the Terror Twins.
I just said all you do is ask Mom what was going on, and we'd have been straight to the point.
Okay, we're talking about the Terror Twins and Jey Uso getting revenge on the Judgment Day. What do you guys think of that? I'll go to Marcus first.
I think it's always funny that when a person injures another person's leg, they do the exact same thing and mock them.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what Liv did to Rhea, and then the swung the crutch attack. How many times have we seen that over the years? Indies, big time. I liked how they grabbed Finn Balor's leg and swung it into McDonough. I thought that was kind of how they're using kind of like a Karate Kid type of here. We'll let them beat each other up. But I thought it was spot on teamwork.
We have a guy mentioning Fatu from MLW. Said badass, truly a great athlete. I know you've been watching a lot of MLW.
Well, Jacob Fatu, and now he's in WWE. He's going to be a major star within the next 6 months to a year in WWE. I think he's going to be a big time star.
Where are you at? Where are you from, the doctor? Have we had him on here before?
He's been on before. I know.
Hey,
yeah, he's been on here before, but I can't remember where he's from.
Yeah, Rep Mike's on. He woke up this week.
Chris, what did you think of that segment?
Joey's on. Joey Owens is on. Welcome, Joey. Kelly's telling me he was popping in. And Travis Sutton too, right? And Travis.
Which segment?
Shay,
Terror Twins and Jey Uso.
Oh, we got all kinds of people.
I didn't see all that.
Okay, didn't see that. Okay, we'll go to Warren. What did you think of that segment, Warren?
Yeah, it's cool. It's interesting. I think they've sort of planted that little bit of Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley seed. I wonder if there's going to be something involved where maybe they're going to let Priest go off and do maybe his thing against Balor one-on-one and have a Jey and Rhea versus Dom and Liv type thing. But like I've said, I mean, yeah, it's getting there with me. So it can't be that bad if I'm sort of interested in it.
The doctor's from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Yeah,
I remember
After he put that, it
Yeah.
clicked in my head.
Yeah.
That was Pennsylvania.
I'm
but-
familiar with that. That's the groundhog, as he just put that. So
Yeah, I remember that because of the movie Groundhog Day. Austin, did you get to see that segment?
No, I didn't, but I agree with Warren. I'm liking the tag matches and stuff. I like to see Rhea and Priest together, but I'm ready for Priest and Balor to do their own thing. I'm hoping at Bad Blood maybe they'll have like some kind of. It don't have to be a Hell in a Cell or anything, but maybe street fight or something just to get that feud going because I'm ready for those matches.
You can only beat up on JD McDonough so much.
Yeah, and I like them against the Judgment Day, but I'm ready for eventually Liv versus Rhea for the belt again, possibly, and then Priest versus Balor. So,
And then the last segment for Raw we was going to go through was Drew McIntyre viciously attacked CM Punk. I really liked that. I thought it was really well done.
I thought it was well done, and I thought CM Punk doing a real good job selling as well. So, yeah, but I thought it was well done. I like that he took his time before he just ripped the bracelet up.
Yep. I like
that he put it in his mouth too. But I like that they didn't rush it. They let it the story kind of tell and play out, and then boom.
I think if he'd have just ripped it up, I don't think that would have been enough. I think putting it in his mouth, I think that added to the segment. Warren, what'd you think?
Well, this was the one that's doing in my head this whole time, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but to me, this is the not as violent version of what we've got going on with Paige and Swerve in AEW. You've got Drew that is just starting to lose it, a la Hangman, and Punk is the one that everyone likes, is getting stuff done, a la Swerve. I mean, I know that whole concept, the whole story thing is something that goes across all promotions. It's it's not like any one particular one can lay claim to it, but I just think it's very similar. I think it just happened to be timed out just right where you got both of these going, but it's definitely building it appropriately if they're gonna pull this Hell in a Cell Bad Blood. I think that because even after him attacking him later on the stretcher, coming after him and just becoming very unhinged, I think sets up the call to make it Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think Hell in a Cell is going to be good. Of course, it's not going to be near. Well, we'll talk about AEW. It's not going to be near that violent. They're not going to go to that level. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was well done. Marcus, what do you think?
I thought it was. I want to know. See, now I look at it a little different than you guys do, but I want to know how many CM Punk dog shirts got sold after he wore the dog shirt out.
Yeah.
I'm sure once he wore that out, now there's probably thousands of people literally wearing that dog shirt. At first, I thought I put dog shit on here. That's why you see me laughing a bit. I'm like, what the hell am I writing down here?
Shit.
Oh, I thought maybe he just found.
I didn't have a chance to beat you anyway, but now I'm definitely screwed. Christian McCaffrey's not playing tonight.
Because you know why? Christian McCaffrey's not playing because he's watching G.W.R. right now because I'm here.
That's right. I agree.
I already won, so I don't have to watch football today. I don't care.
So anyhow, I think it's funny that they can't decide it.
I find somebody to put in.
See, Tennessee football.
Continue, Marcus.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Sorry, Marcus.
That's all right. We'll just let them.
I just lost my best player, man.
Anyhow, I think it's funny that the announcers don't know if it's Gunther or Gunther. I'm laughing about that.
Yeah.
How they broke out of Wade's restraint, like Wade really had him held back. That's what kills me. I am so glad that damn bracelet finally got broke. I was just waiting on it. I like the fact he stuck it in his mouth because I'm pretty sure once that Claymore hit him, he probably swallowed some of that. And now I'm trying to see where they're going with. Surely they go do a bathroom skit where he's sitting there waiting for him to come back so he can pick him back out. But you never know.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't at Bash of Berlin, didn't Drew pull the bracelet out of his trunks?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, when Punk won, he took the bracelet and kissed it?
Yes.
That's
He did the
pretty
same
gross.
thing at SummerSlam, too. People didn't notice it at SummerSlam. I did, but Yeah.
That's kissing
then we
Drew's
got-
balls, I guess. I don't
We
know.
got, we got
I knew that was coming.
two balls on it, and then never mind. Anyway, Shane Cowsard is in here. Yes, they do have new shirts. I've seen them. 25 for normal sizes and 28 for bigger sizes. So that's AACW shirts. They look sharp. And that's all I had to say about CM Punk. I'm finally glad the bracelet's broken. I know they're not done with it. And what a hell of a way to do a storyline about a 50-cent bracelet that my granddaughter could probably have made.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, we'll move on.
Around that little thing, but
add just one little thing on NXT. We're not going to really go over it. Just definitely.
Real quick, Shane Cowsard said they're bringing. They say they're bringing the fifth set back for SmackDown.
There's been some rumors of that, and I've been rumors that it's going to be a 3-hour SmackDown just this week, but that's not been confirmed yet by WWE. I do think there's going to be. I think you're going to see runovers on SmackDown every week now. That's something they couldn't do on Fox. But,
I think both shows should be 3 hours, personally.
Pete Dunne and Trick Williams is the big feud going on in NXT right now, so definitely keep an eye on that. I'm going to move on to SmackDown. Just a couple of news and notes on that real quick. This coming Friday, we're going to have Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes in a cage match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. We got Andrade and Carmelo Hayes in match number 5. They're tied 2-2. We got Kevin Owens and a mystery partner taking on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Austin, who do you think Owens' mystery partner is going to be?
Probably Sami Zayn.
That's been my guess too.
I mean, I'm cool with that, but probably. I mean, I don't think it's going to be anybody out, crazy. I think it's just going to be Sami, and I'm cool with that because I'm a Sami fan. But if I had to guess, that's probably who it is.
Yeah, I would think so. And I heard there's supposed to be some other surprises and stuff. I heard they're trying to do a big SmackDown this Friday. So, some other news and notes I'm going to go through, and then we'll talk about AEW, and then we'll go through our special segment that we're going to be doing every week, and have our guest on, Damien Deville, for rapid fire questions. News and notes. Something I talked about the last couple of weeks was Black Label Pro was Rachel Armstrong against Jordan Grace. They aired that on YouTube. You guys can, if you want to check that match out, you go at 2 hours and 57 minutes. That's about when that match starts. I think it's when Rachel's coming out to the ring. So a lot of you independent people, if you want to check out that match, it was very good. I thought it was a really good match. I thought it was very well done. I thought Rachel did fantastic. So definitely check that out if you get a chance, please. Next up, we got this was announced a year ago. Some people forgot about it, but they're kind of bringing it back. NBC will have 4 live WWE specials. I believe the rumor is the first one's going to be in December, and it sounds like they may be bringing back Saturday Night Main Event. So I think, of course, I'm a big Saturday Night's Main Event fan, so I hope they do that. So I think that would be cool. Also, other big news, Mr. McMahon documentary 6-part series starts on Netflix on the 25th of September. I think that's going to be interesting, especially since Vince had no say in any of the content and what's going to be shown. He had no final say on that. Real quick, what's going on Monday Night Raw? It's going to be the first hour is commercial free. Here's some of the matches. We've got Dragon Lee against Dom Mysterio. Austin, I hope you can make it back in time for the match. We got WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Cargill and Belair against Alba Fire and Issa Dawn. We've got the WWE Intercontinental #1 Contenders match. I think this is going to be a good match. You got Jey Uso, Braun Strowman, Ilya Dragunov, and Pete Dunne. I think that's going to be an awesome match. And then we have the street fight. This is going to open the show, is what I understand. The Wyatt Six. It's going to be Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Nikki Cross against American Made. That's the Creed brothers, Chad Gable, and Ivy Nile. And I heard that is going to open the show. So definitely will be worth checking out.
Oh, yeah, and Bret Hart's supposed to be there, too.
And Bret Hart's going to be there. And I heard the rumor is he's going to be involved in an angle with Gunther. And and if that is true, I would say Sami Zayn's going to come out and save him. That would be my guess if they do it that way.
He's saying he's back in Zayn, and
yep.
Because Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn's contract's getting ready to come up, so expect them to get their little pushes again to get him to resign.
Yep, that could be. I know they're signing a lot of people, and they're signing a lot of Legends contracts right now. They've signed a bunch lately. Okay, AEW All Out. Real quick, I thought it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to go over every match. There was 8 matches on the card. I've got like 4 or 5 written down, and we'll talk about it a little bit. The first one, most people saying this is the match of the night. It wasn't match of the night for me, but it was really close. And this was Ospreay against Pac. I thought it was really good. I think they got great chemistry. I thought it was really strong. Again, it wasn't my match of the night, but it was really close. Austin, what do you think of that match? I know you've seen it.
Yeah, no, I really liked the match. I thought it was really good. Uh, Man, those poison rod. I don't know. Pac's got to be the best one at doing those poison rondas. He just does it so effortlessly. And yeah, I thought there was really good counters, and it was a really solid match. I think I gave it an A. So, and I think I had it tied for my favorite match of the night with another match. So,
Warren, did you get to see any other pay-per-view?
I didn't get to see any of the pay-per-view, but I did read up on all of it and saw little clips here and there. But I'm not surprised that it was a top end match. I mean, it's it is. I mean, I honestly think anyone that works with Ospreay is gonna put in a good match because I think he is probably one of the best wrestlers around. But I do like how they also set up him versus Ricochet in the near future. So,
and plus Pac is very underrated too. He's very good. Yeah. So this next match was my match of the night. I thought it was really well put together. Other than one spot, I think they got to be careful. I'm afraid they're going to get people hurt. Willow Nightingale and Chris Stanlon put a great Chicago street fight on. I mean, it was spot on. It was really good. It was they busted their ass. It was my favorite match of the night. It really was. There was one segment there where Willow Nightingale got knocked out. But it was close. It was pretty dangerous, but she made it through. So I really enjoyed that match. Austin, I know you did too. What'd you think?
yeah, I mean that's the one I had tied with Osprey and them for 2 different reasons. I mean, Osprey and them was a great back and forth, quick pace, technical and high flying, and it was a great match. But that street fight was just everything I wanted in a type of match like that. And those two were great. And yeah, it was just from start. They just went at it. It was no slowing down, and it was a really good street fight. I would recommend watching it. I gave that an A as well.
Yeah, Marcus, that might be something you might search out. I think you'd really enjoy it. Street fight.
It was
like
really
street fights and hardcore matches.
Willow's become a heck of a hardcore / street fighter. That's her niche. I mean, she's been a lot of those that have all come out really well.
I'll tell you what, as far as in the ring, and just she's got a natural chemistry that it comes out. And in the ring, I just soon watch her as anybody they've got. I mean, I like Toni Storm a lot too, but I think Willow Nightingale is the best that they have, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
She might be the most versatile one that can adjust to any type of match and any person, the best in the women's.
I agree. Next up, we had MJF versus Daniel Garcia. I love MJF, man. He can tell stories. He's good in the ring with anybody. The only thing that in this match, and go back and watch it because I don't think I'm wrong. I think the ending was a little weird. They maybe got caught in the ropes or something, and I don't think the crowd liked the ending. It just went dead. I mean, it went silent. No boos, no cheers, and of course they come back up a little bit when Garcia got his revenge, and even though Garcia lost the match to MJF and pile drived MJF, and the crowd liked that, but the ending was kind of flat. I don't know why, but it seemed kind of flat.
What I read was originally Garcia was supposed to go over, but there's still unknowns if he re-signed.
Yeah.
So that's why they gave MJF the win, but let Garcia get the stuff at the end just in case. Yeah. I mean, honestly, they could be pulling a Summer of Punk type thing with him leaving through the crowd. No matter how they were the whole controversy contract with Punk, does he have it? I mean, they could honestly be doing that. So, but yeah, that's what I heard that was why it turned out the way it is.
But I also heard that MJF, if Garcia is staying, for sure, he should have won that match because the rumor is MJF's leaving to go shoot a movie.
Yeah.
And Swerve is supposedly taking time off. So both of those guys are going to be gone for a while. So
I'm okay with Garcia losing because of the way it happened. It was a really good match. Actually, I really liked it. I think I gave it a B+. And and I'm okay with them losing. The finish was a little. I'm not gonna say botched because I don't like the word, but they were around the ropes, and it kind of seemed like everybody was kind of confused. Even Garcia. I don't know if it was supposed to in there or they. Yeah, the crowd seemed confused too, but they brought it back with the segment after. But the match itself was great. And I know MJF is known for his promos and his character, but he's gotten a lot better in the ring. And I don't know if there's anybody better in any company around at right now at adjusting to their opponent and being able to put on a good match with about anybody right now. Like he just goes in there and does what he's supposed to do with anybody. And I mean, I think he puts on a pretty good match every time. So,
and I think it's because he watches tape, he studies, he knows what he's doing. He studied the best. So I think that's why he's that good, in my opinion.
And I don't think it hurts Garcia to lose either because if he stays, he just had a competitive match with MJF, who was just the world champion not long, and then just barely lost to Ospreay. So losing a close one against him and then coming out on top at the end it's not going to hurt him if he stays. So.
Okay, next up is Bryan Danielson and Jack Perry. I thought it was a decent match. It was more what happened after the match. I didn't think the match was bad. It's just hard for me with Jack Perry. He's just not believable to me to go up against Danielson. Against some other people, yes, mid card, but to go up against the world heavyweight champion, I just don't think he was ready for that spot. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to put anybody down. That's just my opinion. The interesting stuff was what happened afterwards. The BCC comes to the ring and they end up turning on Danielson. Castiglione hits him with his European uppercut, and
Mox goes murderous.
Yeah, that.
And then they try to murder him. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard a crowd said, "This is murder." I mean, they put a plastic bag over his head, and that was the chant, Marcus. This is murder.
Well, I'm thinking violence chant. That's what I looked at.
This is murder. But it was a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people online being upset about the plastic bag thing. I wasn't because I've seen it before. I don't know if it's been done since, but I know 30, 35 years ago, Terry Funk did it to Ric Flair. Not only did he put the bag over his head, he tied it. So
Flair turned blue. I mean, they went, yeah.
And the cool thing about this was Jim Ross called that match with Flair and Funk, and he called this match also. So he's called both matches where that's been done, and he did a great job because he really sounded like he was really offended by this, but he had seen it before. But I'm interested to see where the storyline goes. I still think it's going to go to Shane McMahon's behind a lot of this. That's my opinion. We'll see. But I enjoyed the segment. I do agree. Bully Ray brought up a point today that he didn't like the fact that when Danielson was just in a 15 or 20 minute match, he takes that big blow from Castiglione, and all it did was knock him on his butt. Yeah, he said it should have knocked him out. He said he was just in a 15 or 20, and it was a good point that I didn't think about, because how powerful and how strong Castiglione is. But that's a minor thing. But interesting to see where it goes. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought the match was decent. I gave it around like a B minus. Like I get what you're saying with Jack Perry. I didn't think that he didn't look like he belonged, because I thought he did really good in the match. I think what's not realistic is honestly, he should be a babyface. I don't think he's realistic as this this big heel type when he's just not realistic at it, and that's kind of what they're playing him as. And I think if they could somehow turn back babyface, I think maybe he could be a top contender. In terms of the ring, I thought it was a good match, decent enough. And yeah, the segment with the bag, I was okay with it because going in that pay-per-view, I knew what I was getting. I knew what the pay-per-view was supposed to be, and I'm okay with that because they told you this pay-per-view was going to be pretty crazy. You knew already with the main event, so it threw me out a little bit because that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. I'd never seen the Ric Flair. I did listen to Busted Open, and they talked about that, what you were just talking about. But yeah, I thought it was decent, and the segment after was great. And I do think Shane McMahon is a part of it, like you said. If you looked, all the people that are still there are all WWE people. Yuta's the only one that wasn't on board with it. Pac, ex-WWE, John Moxley, Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon have history. Dean Ambrose was their guy on SmackDown when they were both the general managers. So I think it's all going to tie together. It's great storytelling if that's the way it's going, and I'm glad to see it. So,
Warren, did you have anything on that?
No, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, Austin hit it pretty good there. It is shaping up like that. I mean, hopefully, I mean, the only thing is if it isn't Shane, there's going to be a small letdown factor. So hopefully whatever the payoff is big and good. So, but also I don't know how some people may be like, no, I don't want Shane, or some are like, yeah. But yeah, it'll be pretty sweet and cool to see where we go with this.
I will be honest. One disconnect for me, and I don't mean to be negative, but the girl that they have, Shakur, as a
they
must.
could have got somebody better.
Well, I think a perfect person would have been the one that they've got with
Mercedes.
Yes,
she would have fitted a lot better.
It would have been a lot better, I think. I think they made a mistake there, but we'll see. We'll give it time and see what happens. Next up, we had the Swerve Strickland Hangman Adam Page match. Lights out, steel cage. Hangman won by knockout with a chair shot finally at the end, but the chair shot was at least of the things that happened in that match. I know a lot of people was upset by the chair shot, and they really, if you watch the chair shot, they kind of showed it and they didn't show it. It was kind of a move away quickly.
They zoomed out.
Yeah, they zoomed out real quick. So, but a lot of crazy spots in there. I know Austin was a little bit turned off with the needle in the mouth.
Yeah, I
couldn't watch it. I had to turn my face away with that. I knew what I was getting. Like I said, the match, I knew it was going to be crazy stuff. And that's okay because it's been advertised like that. And it's okay to have stuff like that when they advertise it. And I'm cool with that. But yeah, the needle, I couldn't do it. I had to turn my face away. I couldn't watch it. So, but other than that, I mean, I thought it was a solid match. It started out a little bit slow, but matches like that, it's going to start out a little slow. And I just seen Daniel Bryan die on screen, so I was a little out of it. But
it was very violent.
Picked up. Yeah.
The only thing that of all the spots everybody's talking about, the one that bothered me the most, and just for health reasons, is the cinder block. That cinder block was a real cinder block. That wasn't no fake cinder.
Oh, you can.
And he propped him up on his back and went straight down, and he hit the edge of that immediately. You could see the blood coming out of his back. You could immediately see the bruising from that, and then Swerve takes the pile driver, or not the power bomb. I mean, massive power bomb on that brick. I think you're taking too big a risk with the health. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I know both wrestlers want to do it, and Tony Khan gives his wrestlers freedom to do basically what they want. I wonder sometimes if they shouldn't step in and say, maybe that's just, you do the staple gun, you want to do the stuff like that. I mean, that's painful, but
don't use real glass.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I question that a little bit. That was the only thing that bothered me at all. But it was a violent match, and that's what it was meant to be. So
yeah. It's not personally my taste of wrestling. I don't really look at a match like that as pro wrestling. But when you have a feud like that and you do a match like that every now and then, I'm okay with it because it means something. Now, I'm not saying it should be done like that because both of those guys are probably pretty messed up today still. But, I mean, at least it meant something to do a match like that. The storytelling was great with that feud and that match. So, and I like the way they did it, the whole lights out thing. I'd never heard of that before, but I was listening to Busted Open, and they were saying that used to be like a thing. And I liked that they kept with that and went old school with it. And that was pretty cool too, once I learned the backstory of that as well.
Yeah. Mox and Omega, back when Moxley first came into AEW, they had a lights out match.
Okay. I want to go back and watch all the last old AEW, but it's hard to find them.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
they need like a WWE Network type thing.
Well,
hey, I would go back and watch them all. I really would.
That may be coming. We'll see. I thought it was a real good show. I give the whole show a B+. Had a little bit of everything, different kind of matches for everybody. Still, I think 4 hours was a little long. I'd rather see it about 3.5, but it was good. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. So hopefully AEW can catch some fire. The pay-per-views ain't been their main problem. It's their TV shows. If they can get consistent on their TV shows, we'll see if they can get that done.
Yeah, I just want to say this from top to bottom, other than the pre-show, way too many pre-show matches. I think there was 4. They were all tag team matches. They were just too much.
I didn't even watch it.
But top to bottom, it was one of the better. It was one of the best pay-per-views of AW I personally liked. There was no match. Just the storytelling of this pay-per-view was great for me. It's what I've been wanting personally for AW to see. And none of the matches took me out. I was sitting down and watching every match. There wasn't any match that turned me off for the pay-per-view. Like usually there's 1 or 2, and I thought it was really good pay-per-view top to bottom. I also gave it a B+. So
Yeah, I really liked it. Good show.
see, I'm not hating on AEW today.
Well, here, then I'll take your place, Austin. I mean, you actually managed to make it through that snooze fest, that human cooler, the CEO, the freaking freaking wrestler that shouldn't have a belt.
I'm not gonna blame that match on Mercedes. I'm not gonna buy in people saying that she can't wrestle because she's better than most of the people on both rosters, in my opinion. I'm not saying she's great promo. She's awful promo, but in the ring she can wrestle. That match was going good at first, but it fell apart.
Hey, I'm not going to say she can't wrestle, but the last match I watched her, she wrestled some woman I'd never heard of, and that woman stood out a lot more than her.
Back here.
Yeah.
Austin, you said you listened to some of the Busted Open. I don't know if you heard this segment. Bully Ray and them talked about that match with Mercedes, and they talked about what we noticed. Things got real.
You can tell. Honestly, it looked like she hit her, Mercedes harder than she wanted, and she got mad. And after that, the match fell apart.
Bully thought the opposite. He thought Mercedes caught her first, and then she hit her with a kick, and then you see Mercedes kind of get out of the ring and put her hands up like, I don't want another one of them kicks.
She did like 3 kicks in a row, and on the third one, she put her hand up, like she tried to deflect and it didn't look like a normal, get hit with the kick and try to block it and make it look real. No, it looked like she was legit trying not to get kicked.
Yeah, Sheeta works hard.
Yes,
she's always worked very stiff. Always been.
And there was something
my favorites too.
There was something that happened behind the stage. You're trying behind the scenes, and it was after that match. And Mark Henry kind of hinted at it. He said, "I can't put out what I know." But I think when they got to the back, I think there were some issues.
It sucks because I thought the match started out really good. Like I thought they were doing really good, and then it just fell apart. It seemed like their chemistry just went out of the window, and it sucks to see because I want to see the women's wrestling because they got good talent there, and I'm waiting to see it get better and better, and it's just not happening overall. I'm glad that the street fight was great. Those two deserve all the praise though, with Statlander and Willow.
I agree.
You've got to ask too. I mean, if the rumors are true that Mercedes has this creative control, is she intentionally blocking some of these ladies because she doesn't want, because they could very well overshadow her skill wise and things like that? You have to ask the question. I would hope that she's smart enough to, not go all Hogan didn't use creative control, did he? That's right. But
somebody's saying now. I think he's lost his mind.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring up the other thing he said in the last interview I did.
Okay, we're going to move on, and we're going to bring in our special guest and do our rapid fire segment. We're going to bring Damien in.
There he is.
Hey.
How's it going, Damien?
Going good. How you guys doing?
We're doing good, but we're going to put you on the hot seat here with some rapid fire questions. We'll decide who's going to go first with the questions. Marcus, I'll let you go first. I'll go second. We'll let Warren go third, Chris fourth, and Austin, if you have any questions, you can jump in and be the fifth person. I know you wouldn't probably didn't know about this segment since you came on late.
I was gonna say I don't know what questions I'm supposed to be asking, but if you think one, I'll say it.
Yeah, just ask it. So Marcus, we'll let you start things off with the first question.
All right, so I'm not doing all my questions. I just do the first question.
Just the question.
Okay. All right. Please tell us when you debuted.
2011, I believe. 2010, 2011, November-ish, October-ish, somewhere towards the end of the year. I remember the New Age Outlaws were on the show. It was EWF over in Converse. Can't remember the exact year or date, but somewhere in that.
I can look it up because I was there. But
Yeah.
And that was EWF, right?
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. My first question is, with your work behind the scenes at times with AACW, what do you like about doing that, and what's the biggest challenge you have doing that?
I guess what I like the most is just seeing, the production come to work, the show come to work, my vision, for the show. And as far as a challenge, it's something new every show. Whether it's the mics, the sound, someone don't have music, someone doesn't show up. It's always something different every show.
Warren?
Well, first off, first time meeting you, Mr. Deville.
Yes, sir.
Sorry I haven't made it to AACW yet to see you guys, but I will get there.
Right on.
Now I'm gonna go a little off the side here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you used to fiddle in MMA a little bit, or?
Yes.
So, give me your two top MMA fighters of all time.
Lyoto Machida is probably my all-time favorite. And I'd have to say GSP maybe.
See, I'm from Coldwater, Michigan, home of Dan the Beast Severance. So
hey, I'm a very good friend of Dan Severance, and he's actually going to be coming to ACW real soon.
I gotta make it then, because he was actually friends with my dad. So
oh yeah. I've trained with Dan years ago for MMA, and I've always had stayed in contact with him over the years. One of my favorite people on the planet. Hell of a nice guy.
Amazing.
Everybody on here's met him.
Yep.
He actually called me when we were setting up the ring the last show, and I had to step outside and we chatted for a while. But we're gonna get him up here real soon.
No, I think you're right, because I think Marcus has met him. I know Austin's met him.
Yeah, I've met him a few times. That guy's wonderful.
We got to watch him do some amateur wrestling and stuff as well before MMA and pro wrestling.
Oh, that's awesome.
Chris?
I was going to ask you was what do you think is harder on your body, the pro wrestling or the MMA, since you participated in both of them, and both of them are pretty heavy contact sports?
Oh man, I would say, man, in both ways, both win. You know what I mean? As far as the bumps go, wrestling by far. But I mean, there was times, training, MMA where you'd get knocked out at the gym, and you'd go home, and you go back 2 days later and you might get rocked again. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's really hard to say on that one. I've always, like, people have asked me, and there's times I've said wrestling, and then there's times I've said MMA. So
is there one that you enjoyed more than the other?
I enjoy wrestling, I think, more than MMA, just because I grew up more of a childhood fan of pro wrestling. So I think I'm enjoying that, more sentimental wise.
Austin, you got anything?
No, not yet.
Okay. He wasn't planned on this, so Marcus, you're up.
I got a question that kind of follows up with Chris, then I'll do mine.
Okay.
Do you know Joel Blanton?
Who?
Joel Blanton, known as Silverback. It's John. You know who Johnny Blaze is. He just worked the last show.
Yeah.
It's his brother, and he's an MMA fighter trainer. But he used to be big into that 10, 15 years ago.
I don't think I know him.
Okay. All right. So that fateful night back in November, do you remember who your first opponent was?
My very first official opponent, like I think in October what I did was like I came out of the crowd, I cut a promo, and like I challenged anybody in the back because I was this, the badass MMA guy, and Steve something Parker, CJ Parker. I don't know, but he came out. I put him in a quick move. He tapped out. And Kyle Mattingly came out. I forget. I think he was doing a Viking gimmick at the time. And I tapped him out. And then Congo Kong came out and like basically chased me out of the building. And set up for my the official first match was against, it was Osiris at the time, but Congo Kong.
Okay, I think I'm next. Something people would be surprised to know about you.
Aside from doing MMA in the past, I actually had a little hip hop career run.
Okay.
So that might surprise a lot of people.
That surprised me.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm thinking, oh wow.
Hey, Warren.
Going back in time, any one match in history that you know that you would have liked to seen the result flipped? Any match in history?
Instant for me on that question is Sting and Triple H. That just wasn't right.
Amen.
Dave LaGreca still goes crazy about that. You bring that up, he goes.
I'm sure I could name some more, but that's always number one on my list. That one right there, it just never sits right with me.
Okay, next up, Chris.
Let's see which one I want to go with. We'll go with this one. In the pro wrestling, what's been the hardest thing for you maybe to learn, or maybe like the thing that you don't like the most about pro wrestling?
The hardest thing for me was striking, and I still struggle, to this day with it, because years and years of, training one way and then happen to not do it that way. Striking was really hard. In my early days, I'm sorry for a lot of guys I had to work with, because I'm sure I had some heavy hands there for a while. Lots of potatoes, I'm sure. And even probably still today, I catch myself and I have to tell guys, hey man, I'm sorry. Sorry about that one.
Austin, you got anything?
Yeah, two-parter. Favorite pro wrestler of all time and their favorite match of all time.
It's so tough. It's so tough. I'll say Shawn Michaels, and man, again, that one's so tough. But I'd have to say the Iron Man match, or the two matches he had with Taker at Mania.
Okay, Marcus.
Let's see where we want to go. All right, well, we're going to go back even further. Where was you born, raised, and attended high school?
Right here in Marion, Indiana, at Marion High School.
So I covered all three of those.
All right.
See, I know a lot about you, so these are basically for everybody else. I already know a lot of these questions or these answers, but I didn't know you hip hopped or bebopped or whatever.
Yeah,
Bebop.
Bebop's a little bit different than hip hop. If he'd have told me he bebopped, I really would have been surprised. Okay. My next question is:
You mind if I rotated?
Your dream, any dream match that you could see, whether it's something that's never happened before or a match that happened in the past, that you would have been able to witness live in person.
I would have loved to have seen Kurt Angle and Bret Hart, or Kurt Angle and Owen Hart. I think those would have been tremendous matches. So I think those would probably be my top ones. Or maybe even a Dan Severn, Brock Lesnar. That'd be.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think in prime eras, that would have been an excellent matchup.
Warren?
Beast versus Beast.
Beast versus Beast, yeah. And now, once again, like I said, just getting to know, I don't know where you have trained, but if you had the opportunity to either go to Japan to wrestle and learn that style, or Mexico and learn that style, where would you prefer to go?
Japan for sure. Japan for sure. I'd fit in good over there.
Chris?
Who would be your dream opponent? Big time and maybe somebody on the independents you've never got to work.
As far as the independents, Juan Hato is a dream opponent of mine. It's just never worked out over the years, but hopefully soon we can work that out. And if I had to pick like a name, Dan Severn.
Austin?
You can skip me again.
Okay. Marcus?
I did one.
You waiting on me?
Yeah, Marcus.
Okay, I'm not answering. I'm not asking this one. We got here. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Hey.
I have a question.
You need to ask him that too. Don't.
Yeah. Who is your favorite super fan, Marcus or Kelly?
I knew what question was coming.
Why she's asking it.
Too bad. I'm having some difficulties over here.
Yeah, he's cutting in and out. He can't answer that question.
Dang. Darn technology these days, I tell you.
Same question for Austin.
Put you on the spot. I don't think Austin's answered either. I don't think Dom's answered.
Everybody's mics
must be jacked up too.
Okay, I love you.
Okay, guys, we have 7 minutes left on our segment. Marcus?
I'm sorry, that was she wanted to ask me.
I know.
All right, so you said who you wanted to wrestle. What kind of match would you like to wrestle in that you like? I know we know the big match you had just here last month, but is there any other?
I don't want any more of those. I don't want any more of those. We don't need to do any more of those. I'd like to do some a submission match or an Iron Man match.
With anybody specific or the
man?
Dan Severn.
Hey, throw that in there. That would probably be a dream match for sure.
Yeah, that'd be a dream watch. I know that.
Again, Juan Hato. I think me and him could have a good submission match. He's a hell of a martial artist outside of pro wrestling as well. As far as Iron Man match, I think you'd have to put me against my rival Johnny Crisis. I think we'd tear it down in that. But yeah, I think those would be the two style matches, gimmick matches I'd like to knock out.
Okay. Funniest person that you've been in a wrestling locker room with?
That's real tough. Man, that's tough. Man, I don't know that I can narrow that down. There's just so many clowns out there. Man, I'll say SWS. He's pretty funny, but Krispy Kreme by far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Warren.
All right. Which would you rather have in your career? Say a 9-month run with an Intercontinental or U.S. Championship, or a 2-month run with a World Heavyweight Championship?
Whew, that's a good question. I would probably say the 9-month run with the Intercontinental. I think so. I mean, I was always a bigger fan of the Intercontinental growing up. Aside from, a few guys that held the world title, I was always like, the Intercontinental title was the one I always thought was cool.
Chris.
Yeah. Do you watch much of the TV product now, as in like WWE and AEW? And if you do, what are your thoughts on
I don't watch
the product
AEW
now?
at all. I'll occasionally watch Raw reruns on Hulu. I'll watch the pay-per-views though, but that's pretty much about it. I'll catch SmackDown and NXT here and there. But that's pretty much about all I watch.
Austin, you got anything?
Nope, I'm out.
Okay.
I'm just here to watch and listen.
Marcus?
All right, we'll go with what Chris
Yeah,
has.
3 minutes, guys.
We're going to go back a ways. How far back have you watched wrestling? I mean, when did you get interested in it? And did you ever watch any of the Dick the Bruiser or the early MSG matches, early WWE or?
I remember the first storyline I think I remember involved Sting, Great Muta, and Ric Flair.
Yeah, about the 90s.
About the the era time frame I started watching, and then it was just anything wrestling after that I could come across I watched, which in my area you couldn't get anything other than really WWE or WWF at the time, and WCW. I think occasionally you could get USWA on ESPN late at night or something like that. But that was pretty much, I think I remember, the first stuff I remember was Sting, Muta, and Flair.
Okay, what young wrestler do you have your eye on right now that you think's got it? And that can be in the big time or on the independent scene.
On the indies right now, man, all of my rookies, lately they've really been, showing that they've got it. They just, I don't know if they didn't know it yet or what, but they're getting there. So I would say all of my rookies, you're going to see them all over the indies real soon. Big time, I don't think I watch it enough to really know, who's developing to be the next big guy or whatever. So I couldn't really say as far as the big guys, big time guys.
Warren?
Except for Dom. I mean, Dom's freaking killing it.
Yeah.
And I'd never expected Dom to be the star that he's turning out to be.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Let's say it's your final match. It's done. It's over. Are you putting over or going over? Let's find a little ego in there. What we got?
I mean, I think it would depend on the circumstance, honestly, and who I'm going out against in my last match. I mean, I have a dream scenario. I'm not going to talk about it with anybody, but I have a dream scenario. Hopefully that'll be the way it plays out. But any other way, I'm probably going to put somebody over on my way out.
Cool.
Chris? Okay, we're down to our last question. Let's go into the segment. Marcus, you get the last question of the night.
I'm sure you got something better. Go ahead, Tony, because yours was a little more deep. Go for it.
Well, let me see here, because I had a few here. Best wrestling match you've seen live?
Well, that was on my list too. That'll work.
2 for 1, Marcus. Live, man.
And you can do big time and independent too, if you want.
That would just be so hard for me to narrow down because I feel like I've seen so many classic historical matches. Like I'd have to say, Austin and Brett at WrestleMania 13 was probably a favorite one I've seen live. But then I could say Savage and Flair at WrestleMania 8. You know what I mean? I've seen some good ones.
That's some good ones.
Edge and Taker, Hell in a Cell. I've seen some pretty, well, that'd be a hard list for me.
Okay. Well, Damien, we appreciate you coming on. I know you guys got a show coming up. If you want to plug that real quick.
That's horrible. What's the date? The 20th.
Marcus, what's the date?
September 21st.
21st.
21st. The Purge election night. It's going to be a switch up of things. We're going to have some things going online where fans can vote in some opponents for some guys. We're going to have a spin the wheel, like the old lottery wheel back in the day.
Make the deal.
Fans will have the options to win turns to spin the wheel, and that will either give a stipulation or an opponent or, some type of thing. We're going to be a lot of fun, lots of different ways. I think we're going to pass ballots out as fans come in the door, and we're going to collect them. There'll be another way to vote on some other things. Be fans voting on things all night. Fans are going to pretty much make the card. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Tickets are what, like $10, I believe?
$10.
$10.
All seats are $10.
And what I believe doors open what?
Doors open at 6 o'clock, I believe. Usually start pre-show at 6:30, and bell time is 7:05.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming on, especially being our first guest on this new segment. Hopefully we're going to do this segment every Monday night. Wrestlers out there, hey, we're booked for the next 2 weeks, but we need wrestlers if you want to come on.
This was a lot of fun.
Shane Kauser and Justin Danger have already threw their names in the hat, so
got
a couple more in there too.
He said Congo, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one too.
Yeah, we'll definitely be reaching out some people. You can reach out to us also. I know we're booked for the next 2 weeks, and our plan is to do this every week. I think it worked real good. Appreciate you coming on, Damien.
Yes, thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys having me. I always love coming on the show. It's always a blast hanging out with you guys, talking wrestling. I love it. And to be the first guy, highly appreciated.
And also promoters, real quick, all promoters out there, also reach out to Marcus or me or Chris or somebody about your results. We're wanting to do more and more independent wrestling. And the more that we can, that's our main, don't get me wrong, I love pro wrestling, period. I watch it every night, every day. I watch pro wrestling, but we're trying to do more independent. We'd like this show to be about 70% independent, 30% the other. At least that's what I would like to see. So if you got any ideas, hey, reach out to us. I think that's it.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, X, Instagram, all at Gonzo'S Sports Room as well. And we'll see you guys next Monday night.
Go Lions.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is G.W.R. show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass.